I don't care if you think I'm professional or not. I just want to say some stuff and things. Hey, I'm just like you, right? You know, we just shit post in the comment sections. I just do it in video form. There we go. Anyways, so MMOs are pretty fun. I think so. I like to think so. I actually really like the whole genre. Some people say I'm a casual MMO hopper. I don't think you quite realize how much time and attention I put into these games because you're just watching like top 10s or whatever, and you're just barely listening to the words I'm saying. Actually, I do like the genre, or else, you know. Well, then again, you know, I do get some views. You can kind of play some games that you maybe don't love to get some views. You know, money's pretty nice. That's true. Or else I'd probably be playing a lot more rhythm games. Yeah, probably some more arena shooters. No, seriously though. I do like MMOs, and I really love the community aspect of it, right? So talking about the community as in like, you know, what you see, what you hear, what to do. I love just talking about upcoming MMOs. I like debating with people. That's all fun. Like making the YouTube videos for MMOs is, in my opinion, maybe debatably more fun than a lot of actually playing the MMOs. But no, seriously, uncontestedly, I do enjoy these games as games. So I think we'd all agree that somewhere here or there's an MMO that's at least not bad, right? But today's video is not just shitting on MMOs, which we've kind of been doing a little bit, sort of. But what I'm talking about is actually the aspect that I enjoy most, which I just self-admitted here, is as much as I love the games, I really love the meta community aspects. I am a content creator after all, that is my bias, I'll openly admit it. I like making videos on MMOs, I like talking on forums, I like playing around with you guys on Discord, and I'll jump in and do seasonal events and things. And you know, I feel like really the core of any MMO is social interaction. And that social interaction, I think more often than not, kind of spawns out of the MMO, at least the modern day MMO. No, we're not ranting about that. This is going to be on the actual content, like basically what I'm doing right now, the watching of MMOs. Like, I mean, really, my videos, the content is the voice. It's the rants. It's my emotion and passion, and that's why you watch it, and that's why you dislike, and that's why you regurgitate, you know, unfathomable vulgarities in the comments below with spit running down your chin. Fucking barbarians. But it's okay. No, this is fun. This is fun, and I think we all enjoy this aspect of MMOs a lot too. I think, you know, but like actually, especially certain games like Darkfall, so fun. Okay, fun is, you know, bunny ears, but it's so fun to jump into those forums. Go into the Darkfall Discords and just watch. Just watch. Say hi or something and kind of see what happens. See what happens. Be like, hey, you know what? Darkfall, is it laggy? Because it kind of looks laggy in the trailers. Oh, and let's find out what happens. Anyways, so that's a fun aspect. But it's not always fun to watch the MMOs. Do you guys know what I'm saying? So you're watching a video, but the content is the voice. You go on forums and things, and you'll look at trailers as you talk to people, but the content that you're really digesting of the MMO is the dialogue. You're interacting with the community, and so in some cases you can even play MMOs without actually being in game, such as managing guilds and things like that. That happens in sandbox MMOs a lot. That's really fun. That's cool, but it's not watching the MMO. So if you try to watch an MMO on a Twitch channel, such as something like Albion Online or EVE Online, these sandbox games, you know, Darkfall, things like that, open world PvP especially, it's really unfun. It's really not good. It's fun to talk to people. It's fun to maybe see a trailer and discuss it and, you know, watch YouTube videos for maybe the news content, for the dialogued content, but actually the visuals of almost any MMO, and I'm saying even the most gorgeous MMOs, even what I would debate would be critically good, graphically designed MMOs in terms of art style, aesthetic, and all that good stuff. I think almost every single MMO is just, in its raw video form, is ugly and unfun. And not a lot of people are talking about that, because when you watch those things, when you watch those streams, you're watching because they're doing endgame raids, and you know you're part of that personality, you're part of that community, maybe that guild even. You know, you're engaging with MMOs. I think in most times, whenever you're playing an MMO, or if you're talking about an MMO, whenever you're doing anything with MMOs, there's always like these layers of meta-ness. You know, MMOs are like onions, so there's layers to an MMO. But when you're watching just the video form, and you strip away all the other meta layers, just the video is really unappealing. MMOs seem to have really, I don't know why, but, you know, we could debate about that. I just want to call developers stupid a lot of the times. That's really unfair, especially since I met a lot of them. So I'm sorry, but your UIs are generally objectively bad. Like, you go to school, you learn about UI design, you just learn about basic game design, and like the very first thing you learn is that UIs need to be clean, readable, And the less of a UI that you actually see, the better. The more of the UI, essentially, like the little stats and health bars and things that you can put in the game to keep your eyes focused in the game, is the better. And MMOs just like don't give a fuck. Most MMOs are like, you know what? We're gonna have like 30 skills down here on the bottom. We're gonna have like all these like, you know, ailments and debuffs and buffs. Instead of actually showing that on your character, fuck it, just throw it in the top right corner as an icon that you'll have to actually mouse over to see what it even does. Oh my god, like the most popular MMOs, and again, the best looking graphically, take a screenshot, maybe even debatably in motion, walking through cities, gorgeous games. But actually trying to game the game, it's gross. Now, not only, it's gross when you're gaming it, sure, when you're playing it, but you can learn, you know, you can get past it. A lot of people in the comments will be like, well, the game's just not for you. You know, you gotta put time and effort into it. Sure. And you know what? Some games are, it's actually fun because there is a UI. You know, there's a vehicular component to it, such as League of Legends or generally MOBAs. There could be something fun with it. So I'm fine with some UI, I'm fine with some vehicular design concepts. But what really sucks though, is that the general ideas and concepts of MMOs just really don't look good on video form, especially streaming. So here's an example, Black Desert Online. There's a lot of stuff going on the screen. There's a lot of stuff going on the screen. At least it's combo oriented. At least, you know, you can very clearly see the abilities. Debatable. But anyways, you can see stuff and things are happening on the screen when you're playing to an extent. And if you learn the game, it can work, kind of. I still want to talk about it because I still think it's too messy. I still think there's still some issues. Just because it has high fidelity doesn't mean it's very clean or clear, fidelity. I don't know what I'm saying. There's issues still, especially in an MMO game. But when you're streaming, all those different particles and moving parts on the screen, it looks shit. It makes it almost impossible to watch it in a streamed format. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that. There's actually a really good video like with confetti on YouTube to show a great example. Like look up confetti or you know, look up like parades or something and try to see how clear the video is. And you'll notice like if there's lots of moving parts on the video, it just turns to garbage. That's just how it works, okay? It becomes really hard to see. So MMOs have like all these different elements that are drastically of different dimensions. All these 2D UI elements, all these flashing images. Generally the camera angles are cancer. So maybe you can kind of see like the player's position from an enemy, but you don't really get to see the full 3D detail of it. Or if their camera angle is very 3D, you can't really see their surroundings. You might be missing something that the player is getting and he's keeping in the back of his mind. There's just a lot of stuff that as a stream or just, you know, video content, it's just, you're missing so much information, or there's literally too much information all in your eyeballs that you just can't pay attention. And I think that maybe the MMO genre is probably the weakest when it comes to just spectation. Especially, obviously, you know, the obvious, a big reason is massive content means lots of players, and it's hard to pay attention to lots of players. But we watch a lot of movies with big fights. You know, that really awesome choreography, cinematography of the different bodies, where the camera goes, what it's looking at, that works. And we love those movies, we love those scenes, it's fantastic. But an MMO, as you can imagine, has a stuck camera. And more often than not, the camera and the gameplay don't really work together. But yeah, that's pretty much my biggest issue, is that MMOs are, it's just the genre that you just really are very much aware that you're playing on a monitor, you know, you're looking through a window into a world instead of being truly immersed into that world. Now, some games do it better or worse. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when I play Overwatch, I'm like in the game. I am so in the game. Obviously a first-person shooter, but that's also something that Lazy Peon said was really interesting. It's not just first-person games. In fact, like third-person games can be immersive because you are looking at your character and you're seeing your character in this world, and that's fine too. Games like Dark Souls are actually really immersive. So third-person, first-person, that's fine. I would debate even top-down games can be immersive. Path of Exile, I don't know, I'm liking it. I jam to it. That's okay too. You know, it depends on the type of gameplay. That gameplay suits that. That UI could use some work. There's some debate there. Some people might like Diablo or some more arcade action RPGs. But yeah, you know, like those games, they're not perfect, but like for what they are, what they do it really freaking good, right? But then MMOs just, holy crap, man. It's so hit or miss. Any one game. Some games you can customize the UIs, and then even the games where you could technically make a better UI, like World of Warcraft, you can customize that shit, make it look perfectly cinematic. But that doesn't mean you're gonna have better gameplay, because again, you're not gonna be able to create spell effects to see on your character. You're still gonna need UI elements to see your debuffs, to see your buffs, and all sorts of, god damn, I really, World of Warcraft is like the main issue here that I'm having. A lot of dated design philosophies that have been carried over for a decade now, still existing. But yeah, Anyways, it's hard to watch MMOs. It's hard to really digest MMOs as a video visual thing. And also, yeah, it is sometimes hard to play MMOs for long periods of time without kind of having your eyes glaze over. And mainly bad UIs, but it also goes into the gameplay. You know, graphics, visuals, maybe kind of matter a little bit in a video game. You know, to some people that's obvious, and to some people it might have just clicked actually. That, yeah, what you see actually does matter. It's not just, you know, bunny ears gameplay. It's not, because you as a person, you're not even if the UI is all crowding the screen, your eyeball cannot read and see everything on the screen all at one time. So if it's displayed more clearly, more immersively, like on the character and whatnot, and make it more readable, it'll be more fun to play, and it'll be more fun to watch. More people watching means more people playing. More people playing means the game is better. MMOs, at least, you know, the bigger population, they're massive, it makes sense. So this is probably the very first thing that I think new MMOs need to tackle. And in closing, one fucking amazing example of how the community was like, don't fucking do that, please. Ashes of Creation was going to do basically an active reload system from Gears of War for basically like all of their spells, like a lot of spells. You would actually have to press a skill and then time like this bar that just moved back and forth and try to hit it at the right time. That is really bad reactive gameplay that just forces you to stare at a UI. That's the shit that a lot of people do not like about a lot of games like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, things like that. Yeah, we need less of that and more actual emergent gameplay. Give us more engaging, back and forth, proactive and reactive, you know, physics maybe in the game. Things like that, traps and stuff to evade. Actually, I think more skill shots is an obvious one. You know, things like, instead of just having all this UI stat tracking and whack-a-mole gameplay as healers, you know, give us stuff like skill shots with the healing and slow-moving nukes that we have to actually aim and push. Maybe pulls and basically anything you can imagine in a hero shooter now or in a MOBA. Give us more stuff like that. Those games are designed to be competitive, and as games, I mean, if you're just coming out of video game design school, you would be like, yeah, no, those games are designed really good. Like, they're real good games in terms of like criticalness, you know, as a critiquer. MMOs are obviously different games. They are designed to be played differently, consumed differently. But what I'm saying is how MMOs are consumed right now, as well as a spectator thing, as a visual thing, how they're played, it's not very comfortable, is what I can say. And the genre that requires the most amount of time and, you know, effort, investment, I want to be comfortable. You know, I want to be comfortable. And for some reason, those two just don't align in this genre. So that is my fucking rant. That grinds my gears.